Hello everyone. So welcome to my video series called Confidence Matters, and this is the second episode. And again, as promised, I am here in front of you with again a very special personality, and his name is Bitupan Baruah, right? So he is a very acclaimed wellness coach and a speaker. Apart from this, he's also the founder of the NGO called Hope Begins Foundation. He's also the foundation. He's also the founder of Book Lovers in India. Okay, that's a club. That's a huge club, first time in India, wherein there are people who are genuinely interested in reading books, right? And the most important thing is he is one of the record breakers of India Books of Record, right? So he is a person who has no background, no, he's not personally trained in yoga, but looking at the YouTube, he is a expert in yoga today, and he has broke the records in 2019. He is in India Books of Records for doing 100 abs crunches in the position of Sirsasana. So let's welcome Bitupan to our show. And yes, Bitupan, most welcome to my show. So hope our audience get lot of value today. And I want I want your introduction from your end. Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much, Priyankini, for inviting. It's an honor for me to be on your show. And yeah, that's a good introduction. And if you want me to introduce more about myself, if you want me to share my journey, how I became a wellness coach, then I was actually working in corporates before for almost 10 years. But I wanted to do, obviously, if you ask anybody, nobody wants to uh, be in the corporates for their whole life. Most people want to do something else, right?
Volume.
Yeah.
Volume.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Not everybody wants to be in the corporates for their whole life. They want to do something for their own. Even I wanted to do, I was no different. I'm not saying that working in a corporate is wrong, but I was not able to see myself as getting retired after 60 and then, with my retirement money sitting in the house. I wanted to do something different. So which field do I choose? There are so many fields to choose, right? But I thought, let me choose a field where I have my own first-hand experience, right? That is very important. Only then you can guide somebody else, right?
Yes, very true.
And health and wellness is something that I was really interested in. And as a child, I was going through health issues, not just physical health. I'm talking about mental health as well, both mental and physical. I was not physically strong. I was not mentally strong when I was a child. But now I do yoga, as you mentioned, and I have even made a record for fitness on India Book of Records. So I thought that I'm actually capable of something. I have transformed myself from being so weak physically and mentally to teaching somebody else. I was capable to teach people. So I thought this is the right uh, profession for me to become a wellness coach and teach others how to be healthy. See, people think that when it comes to fitness, it's only about going to the gym and lifting some weights. That is that is one part of fitness, right? It's only the physical body. But how about this? This fitness is also important, right?
Yeah, very important.
If this is right, then automatically the physical body will be okay.
Yeah, so
So
the
I thought,
mind has to be in sync with the body, right? Otherwise, there's no use of fitness.
so that's why I thought this is the right profession. So from last 2.5 years, I quit my corporate, I quit my job. I had been teaching, helping people. And at the same time, I also enjoy speaking to people, communicating with people, giving public speeches. So I thought I can also be a speaker. So how do I do that now? So I thought that I want to start my own talk show. So just like yours, I also have a talk show called Mindful Talks, where I invite other personalities, talk to them, reach to their brain and grab some information from them, and then share it to others.
Wow, very nice. Everybody has a story to tell, right? Everybody has an inspiring story behind.
Very true.
So, Bitupan, I would like to know that, today you are a wellness coach. You have transformed yourself to a such a large extent that you have broke the records and you are into India Books of Records. You have been a speaker and you have spoken different platforms like Josh Talks and other like Edu Talks, the International Yoga Day. I just saw your post the other day. Like you are also speaking in the anti-drug campaign in Assam. So I would like to know like your journey from where you started. Like you were somebody who was following the rat race, into corporates, paying the bills, doing some work just for, serving your
Money
family.
end of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there to here, like what were the challenges? I would like you to list out at least 5 challenges, which you faced so that my audience would learn and get inspired from you.
5 challenges. All right. So I have already mentioned about one challenge, which I did not elaborate actually, that I was not physically and mentally strong.
Okay.
So let me give you some more light, throw some light on that. So what happened was that as a child, I was having depression and OCD also. Are you aware about OCD?
No, what is
OCD.
that?
Okay, this is called obsessive compulsive disorder. So
Okay.
this is like an obsession kind of an thing. Let me give an example. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to understand. Let's say there are people who feel like washing their hands all the time. They just think that something is dirty in their hands. If they touch something, they feel like washing their hands. Or there are people who, even though they close their door, they feel like checking it again and again whether they have actually closed the door or not, right? So
Yeah,
these
yeah.
are some small OCDs. This is called obsessive compulsive disorder. You are compelled to do. You know that your hands are clean, but you still feel like cleaning it.
You have that tendency.
You can say tendency. That's why the obsession is called, and the
Uh-huh.
compulsive. It compulses you to do that. So I had this OCD. Mine was different. Not washing hands or checking at the door. I was obsessed with symmetry. For example, if there are, let's say, there is a phone on my table and there is a pen, and let's say there is a pencil box when I was a child, because I used to use pencil box, I would want the pencil box to be exactly symmetric on the desk. If it's just lying randomly, I don't feel happy seeing it. I want to make it symmetric. I would keep the pen properly on the desk in a symmetric position. And even if it's somebody else also, I feel like going and making things symmetric. So that was the kind of obsession. If there are, let's say, 3, 4 square things on the table, I would keep them symmetrically. If there are chairs in the room, I would keep all the chairs properly in exactly one position. I was just obsessed to do that. And let's,
How did you, sorry to interrupt you, but
tell me.
come to know that I have that OCD?
I'll
Like,
tell you. Very good point. Yeah, I'll tell you. The answer is that I did not know that I had an OCD.
exactly, because it's very difficult to point out, right?
Then I'll tell you how I came to know. I just thought that something is wrong with me. And then one more OCD at the same time. I mean, that was one kind of an OCD. Let's say there are tiles on the ground. Okay. For me, both my legs are equal. It's just an obsessive, disorder. That's all. Both my legs are equal. When I walk on the ground, if there are tiles, I would keep my leg exactly at the center of each tile and walk. Or if I go up and down on the stairs, I wouldn't put both one leg after another. I would jump like this, each step and then go. Because for me, I feel that both my legs are equal. Why should I give importance to one leg? And let's say for somebody else, let's say for parents or somebody else, they would think that I'm just playing. I'm just naughty kid and I'm playing. That's all right. Nobody would recognize that something is wrong with me.
Yeah, especially at that tender age.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think that's normal.
People think that I'm just playing around on the ground and on the stairs. At the same time, there was also a pain inside. I really could not understand what was the pain. I used to feel so-called depressed, which I did not understand at that time, that I feel depressed most of the time. There was a pain from inside. I could not really explain to anybody what was that pain. That started in sixth standard. Okay. I was in sixth standard. I really could not explain to anybody what was that pain. I used to be depressed all the time. I was scared to sleep at night. Just don't know why. I was just scared to sleep at night. And somehow, even I would try to be awake whole night, I would just fall asleep. That's all. Then I struggled with this. And till 10th standard, till my board exams, this tendency was there, both OCD and depression at the same time. But with God's grace and with my own mental power and willpower, somehow this went off slowly. And I, within a span of 1 year, I did not even realize that and how this gradually, this feeling went down and I became all right. By the time I was in 12th standard in my school, it was all right. I just assumed that, something was wrong with me, something has gone wrong, and now I am fine. The story was over there. When I grew up, I was around 22 years old, 23 years old. I was with a group of friends. One friend was talking to somebody else. Okay. He was talking about another guy who has OCD. He was saying, hey, this guitarist, whenever he comes down the stage, he wouldn't walk. He will jump each step and come. He has OCD. And I overheard this guy. I said, wait, what is this OCD? Then he briefly explained that it is a mental issue. I was able to relate something that, I had the same thing. By now, we had internet, right? When I was a child, I did not know what was internet. It was not there. I'm talking about 90s, early 90s. Now I knew that we have internet. So I searched on Google, what is OCD and what is depression? I searched everything and I got every knowledge about OCD and depression. That is when I realized that, oh my God, I actually fought depression and OCD without even knowing their names. I fought them and I overcome them.
Wow.
That was one challenge that I have really faced in my life. So that was the story. I thought, let me say this in my journey also, that why I
Yeah,
chose
yeah.
to become a wellness. But anyways, you asked me about my challenges, right? So this
Yes.
became one of the challenge.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that was a long story. Then you wanted me to say five more challenges, right?
Four more. So one
Four more.
you have
Okay.
shared.
Uh, One more challenge was public fear. Now I'm a speaker, but mostly everybody have got public fear, right? They say that, public fear is on top, fear of death is second. So
Yeah, glossophobia. Glossophobia.
glossophobia, yeah, I overcome that challenge. And one more challenge that is related to public speaking again, that is MTI, mother tongue influence. I had even now also I have mother tongue influence. I agree to this, but there was a time 4 5 years back when I had a lot of mother tongue influence, and when I speak, people would understand that, this guy is from Northeast or probably Assam, because, right, mostly Bengalis and Assamese have mother tongue influence, and it's because of the language that we
So
have to,
this is, I would like to, focus more on this challenge, how you came out of it, because in this 6 years of my journey, I met with lots of people who get very much demotivated only because they have MTI, because that is not their problem, because they are educated in a regional medium school. So that's a normal thing, right? Because you don't speak English all the time. So that's why, your tongue is not set there. So you are more used to your mother tongue. So that is why the mother tongue influence will be there, right? So yeah, I would like to know more about it.
good point. First, let me tell you, those who get demotivated, having mother tongue influence is not wrong or bad. Okay,
That's what,
I'm
yeah.
telling you. You see any videos of big where politicians and any economic forums where there are big politicians talking to each other. You see a Japanese guy who is a very big guy. He's probably the CEO of a big company. He comes and speaks in English. He has mother tongue influence,
Yeah.
right? You see Chinese people. You see Arabic people who have mother tongue influence. They are big people, right? They are successful people. They are doing great work in the world, but they still have mother tongue influence.
Yeah, so there's nothing
So
wrong in it, right? It's not necessary that you will have a completely foreign accent and you talk like that, uh, flashy guys. So it's not necessary. Still, you need to be yourself. Main thing is we should not copy others, right? So that is how we are unique, right? We are that
yes.
way.
So after we are clear that, mother tongue influence is not wrong, and even then, if you think that you just like without being mother tongue influence and you want to improve, then the only thing you can do is listen to yourself and improve. Practice listen to yourself and improve. What I mean is that speak to somebody over the phone, or take your phone. You have a phone in your hand all the time. Record your own speech for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Record it and then listen to the recording. Wherever you think that you have spoken this word wrongly, write that word down somewhere else, or write that sentence down and keep practicing that sentence for the next maybe 2 3 days. If you practice the same sentence for, let's say, for example, in Assamese, I'll give a very peculiar Assamese example, that in Assamese we do not have any letter called cha. It's only sa everywhere. We say sai pilenge hum, sai pilenge, we say that,
I
right?
have I have noticed people doing that. Yeah.
But once you realize that sai is wrong, you have to say chai. What do you have to do? You just have to practice chai, chai, chai for the next couple of days, right? Remember that, I'll never say sai, I'll say chai. If you practice for 2 3 days, your subconscious mind will remember this for the next time. Then it will become a habit. So this is the
Yeah.
only way you can do. Practice
Yeah,
and
that's what.
improve,
It's
practice
not
and
it's
improve.
not that difficult, right? You just have to be aware that okay, I'm using sir, I have to use Joe. Maybe obviously your brain will, it will take little time, so we can train our brain any way we want. Right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So any more challenges?
Yes, I was just thinking right now that one more challenge was when I quit my job and thought that I should do something else. Most of the people will agree that you have a challenge of explaining to your family members why you are
Yeah,
doing this.
big
That is
time.
a very big challenge. I am not saying that, again, I am not trying to judge in terms of wrong or right. But see, our parents do not know now. They, especially from our age, our parents, they must have worked in some uh, government companies, and they must have seen their friends also working in the government companies. They have seen that traditional life of, work, get retired, and live your life happily. So it's not that their intention is wrong, but they're worried that how
Yes,
will we
yes. They are
survive.
protective, very protective
Exactly.
about us.
But I'll tell you, this is a very big challenge to explain to your parents. And many people actually have to leave their dreams just because they are
Give
not able
up,
to explain,
yes.
give up on their
Very
dreams
true.
just because they are not able to explain to their parents. And here for this, I really cannot give any particular solution because it depends from person to person and family members to family members.
Yeah,
It's
that's
up to
very
you
subjective, yes.
how you can convince your family members and parents. That is completely
So
up to
here
you.
what I say is I tell people that, just keep loving them and don't just resist what they are saying. They are saying, okay, okay, don't do this. Okay, I'll not do this. Right? Keep loving them. One day will come when you reach that position, they will themselves understand, right? That, okay, she was right. So that then what will happen is there will be no conflict in between.
Right.
Just keep accepting what they say because they are your own, right? So yeah, great, Bitupan. So let's come to the next question. So the next question which I would like to ask is, why did you choose to become a speaker?
Okay, why did I choose to become a speaker? Uh, See, everybody speak. We all speak. You are speaking, you will be speaking to your husband, to your family members, I'll be speaking to somebody else. But there is something which is called communication, right? Speaking and communication are both different.
Yes.
I I learned something and I realized it's a very big realization for me is that every successful person in any industry, be it, let's say, Bollywood industry, entertainment industry, or corporate industry, any CEO, any director, the first thing is that they are all good communicators. It is very, very important for them to communicate to people. Okay. So I thought that I do not know what will happen in the future, but if I want to be successful in whichever field I go, I have to be a very good speaker or a communicator. So I decided that let's see what the universe brings to me, what I become in the future. But one thing is very sure that in whichever field I go, I have to be a speaker or a communicator because I have to communicate to people. Without communicating who I am, I'll not be able to be
Very
successful.
true. See, I also tell all my students that public speaking is not an optional skill. Not
Right.
an optional skill, right? It's not an option. It is a life skill. Like, first,
Exactly.
you need to have that skill. You need to be able to put across your ideas, whatever is here. Then the other things, right? Because
True.
everywhere, like it's whether you are into a corporate job, you are a entrepreneur, you are into some business, wherever you are, or you are a big politician or whatever. So that's a skill, which you should have, because that is a life skill. Wow, that's really nice. So the next is like, do you think people should have a voice, and do you think confidence matters?
Oh yeah, people definitely should have a voice. I think this is somewhat related to what I answered just now. People should have a voice because everybody wants to communicate to somebody else. See, on Facebook also, on Facebook, it's all about having a voice, right? Somebody's putting a post that, hey, Modi government should do this, do that, do this, do that. That is a voice that they want to tell to people. But it's only through typing, right? And miscommunication between family members happen between spouses, husband and wife. It's because they do not have a proper voice. See, speaking is different and articulating and making the person understand is different.
Yeah.
That is where confidence come, right? You have to be confident. See, if you are not confident, the other person will realize that you are not confident. They will
Yes,
sense it.
definitely. That will be reflected on your personality. And the way you look at yourself, the other people will also look at you in that way, right? The same lens. So, confidence is really
So
important.
think about the last time, probably, when I do not know about you, but maybe you must have lied to somebody, maybe when you were a child. Think about that situation when you were telling a lie to somebody. That confidence will reflect, right? You will become nervous that you are telling a lie. But let's say I'm talking the truth right now. I'll be so confident. And during our daily conversations with family members and all, that is fine. But confidence is very important if you are talking in front of a business partner and trying to make a business deal, right? Just because whether you are confident or not confident will decide whether you are cracking that deal or not.
Yeah, very true.
So confidence is very important.
Great. So, we are almost at the end of the conversation. So, the last question would be like, what message? It's an important one. So, what message would you like to give to people who think that I am not confident?
I am not confident.
There are so many people who think that way, right?
Okay.
Because some people have said them that you're not confident because, you know, sometimes they have failed. Maybe one or the other reasons. For everybody, the reason is different, which have, made them feel that I'm not confident. So, what
Got
would
it.
you like to say to them?
I have a very good answer for this. First, figure out the why. Why do you feel you are not confident? That is very important, right?
Mhm.
Think about it. Whoever is watching right now, if you feel that you are not confident, think, why am I not confident? So, when I was thinking right now, 2 points came to my mind. Why you may not be confident. One is you are not confident because you are not, you do not have the complete knowledge about what you are going to speak, be it a private thing or a public thing. Let's say somebody calls me to talk about, uh, let's say, politics. If I do not know much about politics, about this subject, obviously I will not be confident, right? I will get nervous. So what is the solution? Solution is that,
Preparedness.
exactly, prepare yourself. Just like you go to an exam, the studious students who always get good marks, why do they get? Because they are prepared. They know everything that is required to write on the paper. So when you are speaking about something, make sure that you have the complete knowledge about the subject that you are going to talk. That is how one way you can increase your confidence. Other one is that in public speaking, people are not confident, which is called the public fear. Public speaking fear is because, see, it's not about, the fear is not about the number of people sitting in front of them. It is about thinking that what will the people judge when I am talking. I'm not confident because I think that people will judge me.
Yeah.
Judging is the problem, right?
Yes.
We think, we do not even know whether they are actually judging or not, to be frank. If there are 10
Yes,
people
that is
sitting
the
in front of
point.
me,
So
exactly.
maximum times we just it's here. It's just a thought that people will judge me. But generally people don't judge, right?
Now let me tell something very interesting about the judge. Okay, people are judging you all the time. Okay, if I don't do anything and don't say anything and just be quiet among 10 people, they will tell me, hey, this guy is so quiet. If I talk a lot, they'll say this guy is so talkative. They'll say, means they'll think. People are judging all the time. And I'll tell you something very interesting. Humans need judgment. They like judgment. I'll explain
Yes.
why. I'll prove this. When I post something on Facebook, there are options for people to like, get angry, send a heart or anything. I'm expecting people to judge me, right, based on the picture that I have put.
Yes.
See, here I am purposely going and putting something so that the world will judge me, that my Facebook friends will judge me. But when it comes to public, I'm worried what will the people say. So it's the same thing, right? We are
Yeah.
letting people judge every day by putting pictures and posts on Facebook. Then why do we worry when there is somebody else, some other people listening live, not Facebook? So
Wow.
that is one
That's
more
a
way of
very good
thinking.
input, that we always seek validation from people, right? All the time. So why worry when people are giving already validation without you asking them? Like,
Right. Uh,
so great. That was a good message. That was a brilliant message, Bitupan. So
Thank you.
that's all for today, and thank you so much for being in my show.
Thank you.
And it's my pleasure to invite you. And thank you so much. I
You're
think
welcome.
should be really, really inspired by your story and your inputs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.